Hi there, welcome to Scott Stuff. It's Wednesday, September 24th, 2008, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about librarianship, because that's what I teach on Wednesdays, is the introduction class for new graduate students here at Syracuse University's School of Information Studies for the Master of Science in Library and Information Science program. Lots of science in there. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about what librarianship is, because I imagine a lot of you out there don't know, and it is the career area that my passion is drawn to. And so the role of my life as a library scientist is to help librarians do a better job and to enable new people to become librarians. And I'll talk more about that on a different podcast. But this is kind of librarianship 101. So inside of a library facility, there are generally two different groups of staff members. There are library support staff and librarians. Now, the librarians are people who have a master's degree from American Library Association accredited school. There's about 60 of those schools in the United States. Syracuse University is one of those schools, and that's where I teach. I was a librarian myself. I was a reference librarian at Texas Christian University, and so that's where I got some experience. But most of my time has been spent as a professor of library science. So what does a librarian do? So many times a librarian in these facilities is more of a manager. In fact, we represent that in our degree, in that our degrees at Syracuse is more of a management degree. It's less of a skill-based degree. Okay, what do librarians do? Yes, we all learn how to shush. Shh. Okay, that joke's done now. In fact, it's funny because libraries are becoming louder places. It's to the point now where a lot of libraries have their quiet room and everything else is loud. And the gaming in libraries actually falls right in line with that. Libraries as social spaces. But a lot of what librarians do are manage people because of this structure where you have library support staff. And these are people who may not have a college degree or may have a bachelor's degree, and they're working all throughout the library. And then each department will have a few librarians. And the librarians tend to be in management positions. So we make sure and teach people some things about management as students. I think one way I'll talk about this is tell you what the basic courses are that people take at Syracuse. So in the program, there's 12 classes that you take to get your graduate degree. You do have to have a bachelor's before you start. Half the classes are core classes, half the classes are electives. Of the core classes, what you take is an introduction to the field class, where you learn what librarianship is. You take a class about reference. How do you answer questions for other people? How do you do research? How do you help them understand? How do you help a single person or a group of people understand a new concept? There's a class on organization. So that's one of the things libraries do, is they collect and organize large amounts of information containers. How do you organize this stuff in a way that you can find it again, that it makes sense? And that can be physical stuff like books, or that can be online stuff like digital resources and websites and databases. How do you organize it? That's really at the key of librarianship, is organizing information. There's a class on planning, marketing, and assessment. Again, because a lot of libraries are going to be focusing on not only stuff, but services. So you've got resources and services. Services are things like the reference service and the games in the libraries and outreach services and bringing people in and helping them with literacy and things like that. And then you've got a course on management, basic management principles. You've got a course on information policy, because in order to be a librarian, you have to understand copyright and trademark and protection and international information policy. When you put stuff on the web, who could you get in trouble with? So you have to understand this stuff. And so that makes up the set of core classes, and then you can take some electives. And then the final piece you do is an internship, and that gets you your master's degree. A lot of people who come to Syracuse and come to other library science programs are doing it as a second or third or fourth career. It's a great career for someone who's mid-career thinking about a shift. We have a lot of older students. I started in library school with no library experience at all, but I really got excited about the idea of enabling people, of helping people, and that's what it is. It's really a service-based profession. So librarianship is, you tend to work in one of four places. You tend to work either in a public library, which you know about. There's lots of public libraries out there. An academic library, which is a library associated with a college or university. A school library, which is a library that's affiliated with a kindergarten through 12 primary or high school. Or a special library. And a special library are this wide variety of other types of libraries. Most businesses have libraries. There are law libraries, there's medical libraries, there's prison libraries. There's libraries affiliated with most large organizations. And there's someone in that role who is organizing stuff, helping people find stuff, and helping connect people to stuff. And so that's what's going on in librarianship. So anyway, that's about all I wanted to say today. Just a brief overview of what librarianship is. You're helping people get connected to information, resources, and quality services. And that's what you do. If you are interested in joining us as a librarian, we'd be happy to have you. Libraries are doing quite well. It's interesting, in tighter economic times, libraries flourish because they're shared services that people need. And so this is a great time to enter the profession. Lots of positions out there to look for. So anyway, that's enough of that. I don't want to push what I do. Yes, I do. I want to push what I do really hard because it's something you should do too. Come join us. Help us help the world. Yeah, man. Anyway, that's enough of that. Bye-bye.